Hey guys, this is Jason Morris with Real Estate Agents That Really Work. It's my For Sale My Owner Master series. It's free on YouTube. You can get it also in my Facebook group, Real Estate Agents That Really Work. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't miss anything I post on there. There's a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of good stuff that's older that I've done. So in this recording, I want to talk about common objections and how to overcome them. So we talked earlier, about why people are going for a self-owner. And you know, the most common, I want to talk about how to overcome these objections because typically most objections aren't really sometimes there's all kind of reasons why people give you objections, but sometimes people just don't want to deal with you today. They don't have time for you to come out and look at their house. They don't have time. They don't want to sit. Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to sit through a sales pitch. Nobody wants to, wants to feel like somebody's getting over on them. And real estate agents as a whole, we don't have the best reputation out there. I think I seen a study a while back that put us on the same level as criminals. So, so it's not really. Sometimes we get objections, and it isn't that they don't want help sell their house. It's just that they, for whatever reason, they don't want help today, and that's how you got to look at it. So, oftentimes they're not rejecting you, or they're not objecting to you. They're rejecting the idea that you are presenting them in the moment. Just because they don't want to work with you today, that don't mean they don't want to work with you a week from now or a month from now. Just whatever situation is going on with them in their lives today is preventing them from working for you with you. So, and that's a way to look at it. They're not rejecting you; they're rejecting the idea that you're presenting with them. So the typical one is, "Oh, I don't want to pay a commission," and lots of cases, hey, that might be true. 6%. That's what you're charging, 6% of $150,000. Man, that's $9,000. There's a lot of stuff I can do with $9,000. The reason why people don't typically want to pay a commission is they don't think they typically, when they're selling their house, they usually have a problem that they think selling their house is going to fix. And it may be, hey, they want to go to the next place and they have to, they have to walk away from this house with X number of dollars to be able to purchase, they have to leave house A with X number of dollars to be able to purchase house B. And, the best way to do that is to ask questions. If their objection is commission, you need to ask them, well, what price do they want for their house? What do they want to walk away with? Go through those questions and, dig a little bit deeper in things. Because sometimes, hey, if they want to walk away with $20,000, oh, that's great. Well, how much do you owe on it? How much do okay, so yeah, you owe 100,000. You need to walk away with netting 120. So, as an agent, hey, that's great. I feel like I can make that happen for you guys. That's it. That's the easiest objection to overcome. Once you get past the amount they're going to be paying you and get down to what the actual problem is, why do they think they can't pay a commission? Then you can start to overcome that. And it's easy to do. Hey guys, what do you want to put in your pocket? That's a great question when they say, oh, well, I can't afford to pay realtor commissions. Oh, well, how much do you want to put in your pocket from the sale? What'd you like to walk away with this from the sale with? And 9 out of 10 times they'll tell you a number. And once you know that number, then you can figure out where you're at and you can actually overcome that objection. A lot of agents just go, oh, they don't want to work with a realtor, can't call them back anymore. The problem is they don't want to work with a realtor today, or they think they can't afford to pay commissions. They think they can't afford to work with a realtor. So ask more questions. The next objection that we typically hear, a reason why people want to sell their house, is they think they have a buyer. Well, when the for sale owner says, "Hey, Jason, I appreciate you calling us," or whatever they say. "Oh, we got a buyer for a house." "Oh, well, that's great." The next question I always ask is, "Do you have a contract signed?" Because there's a good chance they've had a buyer call them off of their sign. They've had a buyer call them up Craigslist or Zillow or whatever it is. The buyer's told them something crazy like, "Hey, we're going to be there in 3 weeks. Don't sell your house. We're going to buy it." And the chances are they're probably not. So ask them, hey, so you have a contract signed. Is the buyer cash or are they financing? Have they been approved? Have they went and got qualification? Because see, these people, your average seller isn't typically used to working with somebody looking at buying or selling a house. So they probably haven't asked any pre-qualification questions. One of the things that I do often with people is I'll tell them, oh, okay. Yeah, we got this guy that's interested and he's coming down in 2 weeks. Hey, no problem. Look here, what we can do. I'd like to come see your house. I'd like to go ahead and set an appointment with you. Let me send you some information. I'll typically disregard the whole comment about a buyer. That's great. If they continue to bring it up, say, hey, no problem. What we can do is we can go ahead and get your house on the market. If the person comes through and they end up buying it, I understand you got to have your house sold by this time. I go through the same script. I don't disregard the objection, but I overlook the objection sometimes because they may really think they have a buyer. The best way to overcome it is say, hey, no problem. If Mr. Jones wants to buy your house, what we can do is we can just exclude him from our listing agreement. If Mr. Jones comes up in 2 weeks and he buys your house, hey, no problem. Our listing agreement will just get canceled. If you guys need my help writing up a contract, it's no problem. If you don't, that's no problem either. We can just cancel it. You don't owe me anything, And out of in the last 12, 13 years, man, I can count on one hand how many times that buyer came through and actually bought their house. It's extremely, extremely slim. I mean, that's them having that buyer is lots of times if they don't have a contract, they haven't received a deposit from them or the money sitting in an escrow account, that buyer is a hope and a dream that's probably not going to happen. So the next thing I hear is, oh, well, my house needs some repairs to get it on the market. And when somebody says that, or they say, oh, well, I don't want to have to do anything to my house before we put it on the market. Sometimes it seems like these people have this idea that if they list their home with a realtor, there's all this work they're going to have to do. Or when they get an inspection, they're going to have to do the items on the inspection. Typically the inspection is negotiable. If it's not a lender requirement, then it's just a buyer requirement. So the easiest way to overcome that objection is, oh, my house needs to have repairs, is because is to say, hey, no problem. If you need new carpet or you need new paint and stuff like that, what we can do is offer the buyers a credit. Because hey, just because you like this color paint or you like that color paint, that doesn't mean the new buyers are going to. Rather than you spend all this time and money, putting down new flooring or painting these rooms, why don't we just offer a credit of $1,000? And, that way you guys don't have to deal with it. The buyers can pick what they want. And that's a great way to get over that objection about the house needing repairs before you put it on the market. The next thing is we've already had it. Our last agent did nothing. Oh, well, man. And the easiest way to overcome that is to go ahead and send them your pre-appointment package. Send them all your stuff. That way you can show them exactly what you're doing and what you do to get houses sold, what you and your team do to sell houses. And that's an easy objection to overcome. Oh, well, our last agent didn't sell it or our last agent couldn't sell it. We want to give the buyer a better deal. Well, and that's fantastic, but you do want to sell your house, right? So those are just a couple of common objections. The best way to get over objections over and over again is to just ask more questions. Get down to what the real objection is. Sometimes sellers will give you a question, objection that's not really real. You should always follow up, ask a question about the objection. And just because they gave you that objection today, that objection may have eliminated itself in 2 or 3 days or a week. So, I don't want to ever argue with anybody over the phone, because if you argue with someone over the phone, you say something that's, you try to make them feel dumb. Like there's one script out there that's like, oh, you know what the definition of insanity is? It's you're doing the same thing over and over again. When you make responses to objections like that, you're trying to make the seller kind of feel dumb. And sometimes they do. And when you have a disagreement like that with them over the phone, they remember you and they remember that, and they probably are not going to list with you. They are going to list with another agent. I'd rather accept the objection, call them back in 3 or 4 days. They're probably not going to remember me, then move on. But whatever objection you're getting, ask follow-up questions to it. The best way to overcome an objection is to ask specific questions about that objection. So, hey guys, my name's Jason Morris. I'm with real estate agents that really work. There's a lot more to this series. For Sale by Owner Master Series. It's on YouTube. It's all free. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. The best lead sources out there for sale by owners is Redx. Not only do you get the new for sale by owners that are coming through today, you get their whole database of them. You also get their CRM, which is called Vortex, that helps you manage them quite, a lot better. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments or put it in my Facebook group, Real Estate Agents That Really Work.